Hi, welcome to Unleash Your Inner Bigness. My name is Robert David. I'm a community strategist and consultant. Inner bigness is something that every one of us possesses. It's something that's inside of us, that thing that burns when you're sitting alone and you hear those things inside of you saying, I know my life can be greater than what it is. I know I can do greater things. And you may not be in a position to do that. This show is about that feeling where you know there's something greater inside of you. That's that inner bigness. So today, the show is going to be about individuals who have done great things with that bigness and made it a point to impact the rest of the world with that yearning desire to do great things. Today we have Chief Scott Booth from Danville PD. How are you, Scott?
Hey, Robert. Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
I'm glad you came. Look, what is your inner bigness, man? What is the thing that drives you, the thing that made you do the things that you're doing in the city? Because you're doing a lot of great things in the city of Danville. What is that driving force?
You know, Robert, I think my inner bigness is this. If you ask police officers why they want to do the job, I think overwhelmingly they're going to say they want to help people. So that's kind of always been a driving force for me. I always want to feel like my work is adding value to people, and specifically people's lives, making the community better, building a community for everybody. So that's been a driving factor for pretty much all of my adult life.
Awesome. And I believe that because Scott and I, we wrote a book together called Bigger Than Black and Blue. And it talks about how his inner bigness and my inner bigness came together, and we were able to provide some services in the city and change the complexion in the direction that the city was going with the help of the community and the help of our two agencies working together. So tell us a little bit about that. How did you get here?
So great question. You know, I got here, I had worked in the Richmond Police Department for about 20 years and had moved up from the ranks, starting as a patrol officer, detective, and then as a supervisor, going through a couple different levels. I was a major in charge of operations and then internal affairs. And then I took my first chief's job up in the DC area. I was there for 2 years. That was the DC airport, so it was very transportation based. I did not have a defined community, and in my mind, policing is, like I said earlier, about building that community, helping people solve problems. And even though I had the title, I really didn't feel like I was doing the work. Does that make sense?
I understand.
So I didn't feel like I was doing the work that I was here for. So kind of got disillusioned, and I went and worked for the federal government down in Charlotte, North Carolina for a while, and I was miserable. I had a great job in a great city. And, you know, I guess in my mind, I was ready to walk off into the sunset, and, you know, that would have been my story. But I saw that Danville, Virginia was looking for a police chief, and I kind of read about the community and what the community needed and some of the challenges in the community. And you know what, Robert, I got excited. And for the first time in a while, I really felt the need to get back into a community and really get back into what kind of my why, right? You call that inner bigness. I guess my why. I tell people that you need to understand what your why is in the morning when you get up and go to work. And I needed to find my why again. So coming to Danville, interviewed and was selected as the police chief, came in February of 2018. Coming to Danville, it was a community that just great people, so much potential, a great department that is capable and is doing great things. And they allowed me the opportunity to come in and change some things. You know, I like changing things and making things better. And what I found was lacking was some direction and focus as far as from our policing efforts and really that community collaboration piece,
no doubt.
Right? That partnership with the community. And that got me excited. And obviously working with you, the things we've done and working with the community, I think some great things have happened. So I'm very excited about my time here.
No doubt. Now, I came in about 4 months after Scott came in, and we didn't know each other, but we had like passion. And that like passion being that we want to provide the best service we can to empower people in different ways, definitely in different ways, but the same passion and the same outcome. And that's what you've done since you've got here. Now, talk about the journey you getting here and doing some of the things you're doing with community policing, community engagement. What did you get that strategy? Is that something you came up with off the top, or?
So no, good. Once again, good question. having been in policing for over 20 years before I came here, I had done a lot of things. I was lucky enough to have worked in a lot of different positions in a large police department and then run a police department of my own for a while. So the things I've done in Danville are really a multitude of things that I've learned throughout my journey. And for me, I probably had an epiphany in maybe 2007 when I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant in the Richmond Police Department. And they gave me 1/12 of the city to lead and problem solve and work with the community and make things better. And after doing that for a couple years, they gave me 1/4 of the city. Then they gave me half of the city. So you get the picture. So,
I get the picture.
Every couple years, I would get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger problems to solve. And I found that what worked at that lieutenant level is the same thing that what works for me as a chief. And it's practicing collaborative leadership amongst your staff and with members of the community to solve problems, man. It's simple. It's not just me telling people what they want to hear or what they need. It's us working together using data to come up with smart solutions. And whether I'm leading the officers in my department or working with folks in the community, people want to be a part of the process. They want to have a voice. They want to have a seat at the table. And I think when you create an environment that allows that to happen, you can have some phenomenal results. So I saw that early on, like I said, 2007, 2008, even doing that as a smaller level as a lieutenant with about 30 officers. We had some great results, and then it got a little bit bigger as I moved through my career. And then as a chief, all I do is just practice at it at a more strategic, at a higher level.
And that's awesome. And so after the break, we're going to talk more about your strategies, more about the things that are done in the city. One of the nuggets I got from you is that a good leader empowers his people.
Absolutely.
Anyone can be a taskmaster.
Yeah.
But a good leader is a person who makes everyone else better.
Absolutely.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.